FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Welcome in to The Breeze. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got DP in studio to my left. No Haas Tabrizi. Well, I take that back. Haas Tabrizi, he's here, but he's late. Haas Tabrizi, you're late by a minute and 40 seconds. Unacceptable, but I'll forgive you. It is Sunday, Forgiveness Sunday. How's it going, man? On January 25th, hopefully it's not as cold down there where it is here in Lincoln.
Probably not as cold, and with that said, we're probably not as accustomed to this weather that you guys are accustomed to.
I don't know if you can get accustomed to this type of cold. It sucks every year, and I've lived here my whole life, Haas. I'll be honest.
I don't know. A lot of the folks back east I've been talking to, they were, there was the snow and ice and that sort of deal. The colds are just different.
Yeah,
they're different. Flatland cold where the wind sort of sits on you versus that off the Potomac River, Atlantic Ocean combination mixing pot of bad weather. It's like, oh, here comes bad weather off the Atlantic, and it brought its naughty little nephew off the Potomac River, and they dance, and quite often they make a mess of things. Becky's down in Carolina, and they're taking a beating down.
Yeah.
Snow and ice in the Carolinas sends the whole state into trauma.
I know she wanted to try to get back by a while ago, but I don't know if that's gonna.
No, she's not getting back. She's not. They've bounced flights already. They're not. She's not going to get back till Tuesday.
Yeah, I
till Tuesday, and it's the fear that you're stuck in a hotel and the hotel loses power, but at least you're amongst other people.
True. I think hotels should all have generators.
That was kind of the policy, but people don't always follow rules.
I'm North Carolina.
Yeah, rules. Yeah, they're not rules for me. Those rules are for thee. We want everybody else to do that. So I think that's a big thing. But she said the hotel's full because everybody's planning on being without power at their homes. So you would rather be in a place that at least has a plan for heat. The elevators are supposed to be connected to it. Just rules. I mean, that's the old hospitality DP. I know that the generators are supposed to be connected to a separate heating system, elevator, refrigeration for food, etc., and then lighting, because you cannot have a dark hotel with that sort of occupancy.
You know all the codes. Well done.
Well, I was a hospitality exec. I mean, that was good. That was good. In another life, that was originally the plan. I was at with Hyatt Hotels, and I was on the national tour. So I would go from hotel to hotel to make sure that compliance was met and that any new sports bar concept, restaurant concept met Hyatt standards and then the standards of the people who were running the businesses. So yeah, that was going to be the plan. That was also how I met some of these sports people, because you would go into a town.
Yeah, that adds up.
The Hyatt Hotel was the host hotel for the NBA and then the NFL. So opposing teams would come in and they would send them all to me.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Well, part of it anyway.
Well, yeah, that's literally. I mean, it's a big part of it. So.
Well, I'm glad to transition to this
into full sports radio. Well, that was the thing. Like I had the interest. But Haas knows the area, and there are certain names: Champion Sports Bar, Hyatt Hotels, the Grand Sam Sports Bar. These were places that I was in. I mean, I was always athletic, and I was always in the coaching aspect of it. But then, literally, as the story is said, we were hosting a show at Champion Sports Bar in Tyson's Corner, and Doc Walker from the world champion Redskins and Larry Michael, who was the voice of the play-by-play for the Redskins for 2 decades or so, Rudy Martzke of USA Today, they would host the show in my bar every Thursday, and they would bring these people in. And as the story goes, I think I told Harrison this story, that one night the guest was Bill Walton, who flew in, and it was my job to just kind of host and occupy them until they were called to go on the show. And there were fans and such in the bar, and you're just sitting there with Bill Walton, and they get to the point where they call him. He's promoting his book, and they call him up, and he goes, "Well, let's go." I was like, "No, I don't go on. He goes, "Well, you know this better than they do. So come on. If you're not going, I'm not going." And they're like, "Okay, come on." And I sat down, and Larry Michael, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He goes, "Derek, welcome. This is the first time sitting with us." And I was like, "It's just a pleasure. I'm just honored that you guys didn't turn the microphone off, And Larry Michael paused, and he said, "My goodness, how in the world aren't you doing this?" He goes, "You're built for this. You're built for this. You're knowledgeable. You're entertaining. I think you should do this." And so they pulled me onto that show. And I started working with the show was called Sports Edge, the Sports Edge. So you can go back, the Sports Edge with Rudy Martzke and Larry Michael. And then its final 4-year run, there's this little nobody named Derek Pearson who got to hang out and travel and get sports acclimated. So
thanks, Bill Walton. Yeah, write him a letter.
Well, no, it was it when he passed. He
right.
passed. I did a tribute on here because there's so many people who, and Haas talks about greatnesses. There's so many people who add to your ability to do things in life, and they can change your location and your elevation. And I, without thinking about it, I then started to recognize how many of those people I had in my life. Without the Sports Edge, I don't get Redskin Magazine. Without Redskin Magazine, I don't get the Carolina Blitz. Without the Carolina Blitz, I don't get the starting lineup in Utah. Without the starting lineup in Utah, I don't, and each thing leads to another thing. It introduced you to Joe Gibbs and puts you in the Theismann circle, and then it sends you down to Carolina for Dom Capers, and you get that wisdom of he and Jerry Richardson. Then you go to Utah, and I'm with Jerry Sloan and Larry Miller and Urban Meyer, and the continual add-on. So this is why I continually say to people, like, I just want to give people a chance, like people gave me. Like that's my invoice. Is we got to watch. Think about it this way: we got to watch Emma Spence on the Big Ten Network yesterday.
Yeah,
we got to our own little Emma Spence who
just killed it.
Like and you watch it. You watch Arden Lockheim and Sam Hoiberg sit here and have just a brilliant conversation. 2 Husker athletes who are second generation in this sports space, but to do that.
Yeah, we had a woman swim or diver that she went on. I can't remember where she went, but she went on to do a sports career.
Yeah.
Not playing, but covering.
Audrey.
Thank you. Yeah.
Audrey's doing her thing. And to watch, Reagan Hinsey and her, her ability to sing, that she was hiding from it.
Yeah, Madison Ronquillo. I'm thinking about some
Madison,
of the OGs
shout
back
out
in the
to
day.
Madison, who just got engaged.
Yeah.
That's
kind of funny when
Michaela Curtis, who is now on the Buckeye gymnastics coaching staff. To watch the CJ Wilcher, who's now a grad assistant at Maryland, to watch these young Kyle Perry, and of course the Savannah Bananas, and you get to watch this thing, and that's literally why I'm here.
Yeah, well, even Chance of Brewington. I know he's not doing sports now, but
he's expanding in his life.
Yeah, what an incredible run he's been on.
Nori comes back in, and to have Emma interview Nori literally tells me that the plan is working to create more people in the space who love it, because you have to love it in order to excel at it. 2, to care about it, love it enough to take care of it, right? And the only reason I'm here is to provide other people the opportunity to live the kind of life and the kind of exposure that I've had, because the only thing different is opportunity. And Haas can tell you, we were sitting on, we're sitting in a gym, a small gym in Fairfax, Virginia, coaching JV and freshman basketball until we can sit on the varsity bench and go through it. And some would say that, what are you guys doing here? That's what we're doing here. The universe was smarter than we were. It put us together so that we could go on the journey together. And if Haas and I don't get together and do this, I'm not here. I'm not here. He's not here. He's not a known name in Lincoln, Nebraska. He's not an internet source. You're not, you two don't get to have the conversations you have, but he feeds you. And his greatness reigns on you now. And there's a responsibility with it. Like to go, yeah, I've got to do right by people to do right by people. And in this day and age, in this current day and age, people who are trying to do great things versus people who are trying to do selfish things, right? There's the difference. There's the line of superheroes and greatnesses. That's how we work, and that's why we're here.
Amen. That's church. Can't say anything better myself. Haas, what do you got to add?
Can't add anything to that. Just telling you that straight up. Can't add anything to that. But we could take parts of it and segue it where it's the destiny. It's if this doesn't happen, this doesn't happen. And if this doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. And talk about wrestling for a second and Sami Zayn. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of odd. The timing, Triple H, WWE, they always like do 15-month, 18-month storytelling. But out of nowhere, I feel like Sami Zayn is going to have a really big 2026 with the win he had last night, a Saturday Night Main Event in Montreal, one of his hometowns. And then now the Royal Rumble. I imagine he's facing Drew McIntyre in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. As a well-known Muslim man, Sami Zayn is going to be in front of his home crowd next week at the Royal Rumble. So I imagine that's going to be the destiny where he gets to finally have his WWE championship.
I think it's good that in the storytelling, and then again, what we also know about Triple H is that he can left turn and detour in the 23rd hour, right? He can set a full 24-hour clock and he can go left turn.
Brock Lesnar out of nowhere.
As quickly as anybody, and to understand what we're trying to do with it. And I would imagine that that's also in play, right? It's also in play. And you've got to figure out with Sammy and the Usos and Roman and Paulie, like there's a bunch of stories that can be told, should be told, would be told. But that's why we pay attention. It's the human psychology. It's and they talk about the psychology of pro wrestling. It shows up, and it's also in the space that it showed up last night in the UFC. And their first big event of the year, first pay-per-view event of the year on Paramount. So, streaming services has it. Like, you save your money, right? You can package it together. And you have this, you have it set up that Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison in the women's fight of the year was going to take place. She gets injured, neck surgery. They have to pull that. Story writing to advance, right? It has to move forward. And they had said, well, Justin Gaethje and Patty Pimblett would have at it. And some people said, well, Patty's the fighter that, like, they both have their own cluster of fan base. And then you realize that the storytelling long-term is that they're trying to figure out who's going to fight at the White House. And you need champions. You need American champions to fight at the White House. Or at least that's the conversation in the chat rooms, right? In the chat circles, that, okay, you got to have somebody there that fits that whole thing. And so you start to pay attention that Sean O'Malley gets put into it. And, you know, Song Yadong, I love him as a fighter, but I thought, bro, you were a lamb to slaughter. Like you were gonna have to tap that dude out twice in order for you to be put on the White House card. Like you were gonna have to tap him out twice. And so by decision, business over business, right? You got to put this thing. And then and it's also affected because there was another eliminator fight that was set up, and there were reports of weird betting going on. And so Dana had to do a thing that I don't know that's been done in pro sports.
You know better than me, but I'm going to take a guess and say
I don't know.
No.
I don't know of a major fight that was pulled not only from betting, right? Pulled from betting, and where all the betting sources said, okay, something's afoot, right? There's something going on that and Haas, to have not only that the bettors pull it, but to get the feds involved, and then to have Dana White make the public statement that, well, we had to pull the fight because there were too many things that didn't add up, or at least we had concern about. We don't have enough answers. We can always reschedule it. But for the folks, and think about this in the storytelling, right? Because you have it set up that if you're on the first fight of the year, you're a part of the story, either your dismissal or your advancement. And that story had to be pulled on the day before. Amazing. I'm going to see Anthony Lionheart Smith. He's going to walk the Husker wrestling out of the tunnel today against Ohio State. So I'm going to see him, and I can't wait to pick his brain about what just happened. A lot of the storytelling, a lot of the advanced work, right? Because Dana has, as Anthony said it last week, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. Dana has a plan for whatever direction the thing goes in.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happens, he's got a storyline that will follow. And this is what we're doing, Haas Tabrizi. You have to now pay attention that there's something behind the curtain. And now you have to pay attention. Pretty amazing when they talk about load management. And they talk about all those things. Whew, sir, what a weekend. What a weekend. My goodness.
Wow.
You want to read Don's text?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll read this one from Don. He says, afternoon, guys. I am on the fence. If Sammy does not get the title, Drew deserves full WrestleMania. Esoteric with him being the champ. However, I do want Sammy having a reign with a small official pool of guys being listed as being in the Rumble, who is making their return at the Rumble, and who gets introduced for the first time in WWE.
Well, first time, air quotes. First time as they are.
Yeah, for question.
Well, no. I'm saying for the first time because the reintroduction. Listen, there's only one story. There's two stories that can make WrestleMania, or three. I'll give them three that could make WrestleMania the return of a star matter. One, Tony Storm. That's the one that will set the internet on fire and the whole wrestling world on fire. Two, Return of the Rock in some way to come back and complete that story, right? Come back and complete that story. And a Rock versus Cody is certainly not out of the realm of possibility because you just put him in with Fatu, right? Fantastic match, by the way, last night. All the matches last night. Give me all the feels. Like that's the best card that they put.
How hard for you to say the AJ Styles match was really good?
It's not. But that's where but this is where people get mad at me. But that's where he belongs. In that type of match. I don't need him as the feature. I don't need him on the matinee. I need him to be Matt Stafford.
Yeah, but he's done.
I need him to be really good. He's not particularly interesting to me, but he is efficient, he is effective, and he's a producer. He's a worker, right? You're going to get top level work. I don't want him on the matinee. If Matt Stafford is the face of the Super Bowl, it is a problem.
Sam Darnold?
Same deal. Same deal. I don't want them. Listen to me. Here's the problem with the Rams Seahawks battle, right? If Denver gets in today, what do? What's your are you telling me we did this with David Archer, and we've seen some quarterbacks luck their way into it. Now he could go full Doug Williams and get it done and
pull Nick Foles.
Right, full fairy tale story. I don't know, but what do you want to see on the matinee that is the Super Bowl? And it better be somebody.
Can I get some props for saying the Rams and Seahawks were the two best teams in the NFC? Y'all made fun of me so hard for that.
No, we didn't make fun of you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
We laughed because if you said the NFC, the Ram, if the matchup was instead 49er, the Rams in San Francisco, the Niners are playing today against the Seahawks. Matchups make all of this. This is why it's all nonsense to forecast and foreshadow, because you don't know how it plays out. The Niners win one game. All of those playoff games are in San Francisco. And then we're having different conversations. Who forecasted that Bo Nix would be hurt and that, oh my goodness, we're really going to start a quarterback that we're not sure. Jarrett Stidham? That's what, who forecasted that? I'll wait.
Hey, is it national news now that they're talking about the substation in San Francisco's practice facility causing injuries?
Here's the thing. It's the silliest.
The nuclear power plant.
Here's the thing that there's so much of the stuff that goes on. People in the forecasting business aren't genuine. You're not being genuine, because you can talk about what you know, but you can never guess about what you don't know. And there are too many things that happen from week to week. Injuries happen from week to week. Schemes adjust, changes, weather, climate, right? Because, normally late season playoff games are being played in the dome, on purpose. This is the first playoff.
Hold on. Did you see that, though?
There are no dome games in the playoffs this year. It hasn't happened. It's never happened. In the era of the domes, man.
Did you see that? I didn't notice the substation electrical crap until I saw Fred Warner practicing about 10 days ago. And I was like, hold on. Why do the Niners have all these crazy power outlets? Do you know what I'm talking about, DP?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing was that, and shout out to Bomani Jones, because he did a full 2 hours on it. And the absolute craziness of it, that this not only is a thing, but it's also the conversation that is attached to it. Because what we know versus what we don't know. What we think we know versus what we actually know, two entirely different universes. Why would you do that? And the fact that nobody else has done it, although if you're going downtown with all of your facilities, it's likely that you're going to put yourself in a field. So you have to consider those things. And we as a species will make money before we get it right. We will make money off of it long before we figure out that being in these cells aren't good for us. They're just not good for us. Now, there's a bunch of other reasons, right? Could be.
I'm never working at a nuclear power plant. I'm never doing that. Sorry.
Well, here's the thing. People we could say that until they come in and say, Hoss Tabrizi, here's $2 million a year to work in a power plant. And then you have to consider it. You have to consider it. Nobody said, no. Well, but that's just it. Character allows some things, but there is a bunch of people who will make that decision. And somebody made that decision.
I'm not trying to have fish with 15 eyes like from the Simpsons.
Look, it's in full that in the space. And Bomani Jones was really talking about how bizarre it was that we were having this conversation. Think about how, and it's a great segment. He did a segment, and then it led to another segment, which led to another segment. But it became, this is a part of the weirdness that is sports commentary, is that some internet person put that out there. Now, they didn't go into the science behind it. They don't know the science behind it. They simply did a thing and said, That's weird. Maybe that's why you're having weird injuries. It could be a whole bunch. Maybe you aren't building the muscle group or the tendon group that will keep you from having those types of injuries. Maybe it's your strength coach and what's being asked of you. Maybe it's what you're putting in your body. Maybe it's lack of taping. Maybe it's equipment. It could be one of 100 things. We don't know, but the easiest conversation piece is the large thing that sits over here that we don't have an understanding.
They questioned all those things for the longest time, like the Lakers training staff, the Niners training staff. What are they doing from a nutrition perspective? They questioned those things for so long. So it was crazy.
Yeah, but that's just it. We're all trying to figure out what it is. Just speaking of, in Niners talk, the third greatest quarterback in Niner history, fourth, John Brody passed away. Just passed away. Stanford, first team All-America. Brody's career, very AJ Styles level. Hall of Famer. He was the fifth oldest living Hall of Famer at the time of his passing. Brody's numbers, and then probably the value of media that John Brody is in the Hank Stram era of former players and coaches who went into broadcast. And Brody was the voice long before the Tony Romo, Tom Brady quarterback, Joe Theismann. John Brody was the quarterback that sat in the booth and broke down. He and Sonny Jurgensen were the two, like for each league, that would go in and sit, and they were the analysts for national games on CBS and NBC. So Brody, he and the connection, he and Gene Washington were a great combination for the Niners. He also threw Ted Kwolek at tight end, some pretty good running backs along the way. But John Brody passed away this morning. So,
well, with that, we can go ahead and throw it to break. And, real quickly, what was this timeline? I'm not familiar with
Brody. 50,
He's
late
90 years old,
60s, early 70s.
Okay, so at least he had a good long life. But nonetheless, a little bit of breaking news there. We will throw it to break. This is The Breeze, Haas Tabrizi, DP, Harrison Arns, myself. Don't go anywhere. Still got two more segments on the other side. And, of course, it is NFL playoffs. That will start up right here at 1 o'clock. We officially have that on the brick and mortar for the preview. And then, of course, 2:30 is the first kickoff, 5:30 for the later game in the afternoon. Both games on the ticket. Don't go anywhere. This is The Breeze. Talk to you in a bit.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 2226.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into The Breeze. Second segment, 402-464-5685. Shout out to everyone joining in. You're still welcome to join in. You can do it via the streams as well. Like I said, we do got NFL starting up at the top of this hour. If you want to keep it local, just get that 93.7 The Ticket app. Best way to do it. Haas Tabrizi, I know you probably got plenty of things on your list, but I do just got to put this out there, and I want your thoughts because you're a little bit of a fan of them yourself these days. Husker Hoops is 20-0. They have gone over 320 days without losing a basketball game. They got a big one versus Michigan. I don't want to start counting, but it's crazy to say it's almost been an entire year, and I have not seen this Husker basketball team lose. Starting to forget what it even looks like, but they had another huge win in the barn, Williams Arena versus Minnesota. Your thoughts on the Huskers? 20-0 start.
You're not going to end 36-0, so don't get so hell-bent on the O side of it. Just get really excited about how cohesive they are and how they're playing smart, and just it's I don't want to put so much pressure on them, because every time, if you're undefeated, it does add up. It does add up. So what would be really cool is being a 1 seed going into the Big Ten tournament. How cool would that be? That would be really cool. That would be really cool. So I don't know if you play 18 games in the Big Ten now, but if you play 18 games and they're 17-1 or 16-2, that would be crazy to have all the teams that are in the Big Ten. So don't put pressure on these guys to go 28-0. That's just not fair. So 16-2, 17-1 would be a remarkable year. Anything better than that, I don't know what's better than remarkable, but that's what you should talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we've done. Coach Hoiberg has been really loud and proud about going 1-0, and people think it's cliche and otherwise. No, but I mean, as coaches, you understand. So don't. Trust the process is not just a cliche. It is a method of operation. It is the standard for how you get through and build something of value. I mean, the Husker mantra and code is day by day get better and better. And that's the mission. It doesn't have to be about, listen, the 20 wins is just the accumulation of greatnesses. That means there's a lot of things that have done it. It started with the crown and last year and figuring out going to Hawaii and figuring out how to finish games, how to rely on one another, how to travel well and not lose focus, the verbiage that's required in those critical situations, whose voice is the loudest, what things are you listening to, what players can you rely on, does the system override the players on the floor? Because the rules of engagement means it doesn't matter who's on the floor. Everybody going into the game knows what the responsibility and the end mission is. So down your number 6 and number 7 player, can you still do the things required? Row 1 through 5 still has to do that. And it's not to say that the 2 players that you've lost wouldn't move into the top 5. Doesn't matter. That game, yesterday's game was the example of, if we do as a team, we do the things that we're coached and that we drill. If we do those things, it doesn't matter who's on the floor. It doesn't matter. Yeah, there are playmakers, and the difference between a guy getting on the wing, catching it, driving, and putting a left-handed hammer down on somebody's head is really just a process of getting on the wing, catching in space, getting into the decision zone, and then making the right decision. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to have Frager's pop. Cale Jacobson doesn't have it. But if Cale catches on the wing, he understands the rules. If there's space, pop the 3. If the closeout happens, drive and attack another defender to make another teammate better. That's what's happening. Oh, and then if they do not stop you, continue, go finish. And it doesn't matter who the player is. There's different skills within those players. But Hoiberg and Lenzer and staff have figured out how to communicate to this group. 1, we are a defensive team first. Forget about how many points you score, how many assists you have. You know what? Are you defending at the top? Are we on the same page defensively? And if we're not, Jared Garcia, then I got to put you on the bench until you figure out that it's not your 3-point shooting they got you on the floor. We need you to go out and defend like everybody else. And then if you make a 3. If you don't make the 3, Sam Hoiberg, there were a whole bunch of games he didn't make 3s, but you didn't take him off the floor because he was doing defensively what needed to be done. He was honoring the code, and he played to better his teammates.
Yeah, well, in the second half, he cooled off. Sam Hoiberg in particular, but he stayed on the floor because he's such a nuisance defensively in what he does to teams.
Well, but he gets the ball into spaces offensively where Nebraska is more likely to have something good happen than not. And that's every player on the floor. Follow the rules of engagement. Play the game the way we teach you to play it. And there is an answer for everything. If this, then this. If not this, then this. And there is a simple progression. But to coach it and teach it requires discipline, listening, connection, right? You got to hear me. And then having the right verbiage in critical times. And there is a deep level of toughness in this team. So no matter what their record finishing, again, Haas is right. Undefeated is just the accumulation and the blessing. Like, you're just favored. Okay, it happens. Doesn't happen often, right? Doesn't happen often. But the mission would be to play your best game the last game of the season. Your next game has to be better than the last game you played. You're smarter now. You have more lessons. More players have been in positions of need and in critical situations than ever before. So when you go to Michigan, you know how to travel. You just traveled to Minnesota. You just played in the barn. Playing at Ann Arbor is a tough place, but you just learned how to travel and win on the Big Ten. You're smarter about it. Now, the players who played, they now are smarter than they were Friday night. They know, okay, my conditioning's good. I'm in cardio enough. Hey, if I trust my teammate, it's going to work. Hey, don't get down in the first half because it doesn't really matter. You got to play through. Hey, if I honor the code, we're going to be okay. So then when you face Michigan, no matter the result, that you played the best game that you played all season, and you quickly turn eyes towards the next game after that. That's it. Beat Michigan, by not beating Nebraska. Just don't beat Nebraska.
You know, there's a lot of things that go in my mind right now. I was looking at the records at home in the Big Ten. We've done this in the past couple of years, and again, it's crazy to look at that, and I'll do that in a second. One of the things that went to my mind was, is this Nebraska basketball team similar to Indiana's football team last year or this year? And by that, I mean, they don't listen to any of the noise. They don't look at anything, and they try to create bulletin board material with it, because if you take Nebraska's name off of what they've done this year, there's no way they should be ranked 7th. There's no way. It's just because of their name, they put them at 7th. But they've done more than Michigan. And I know, DP, what you're thinking. It doesn't matter. Just go do what you're supposed to do and win the next game. And they will. And they have – it seems like they have the right mindset. They're not distracted. They're not taking any outside noise, and they're using it to make sure they're galvanized and they're playing as a team. Go ahead. You're about to say something, so go ahead.
We used to have the pyramid in the locker room at Woodson of all the things for the season. We had the plan, right? Boxes to check and mountains to climb. At no point in it was to be ranked number 4 or number 5. At no point in it. Undefeated only matters 1-0. That's it. Like when we go out here tonight, when we practice, we're practicing for the next game. We're practicing for the next game. And we're literally setting that we have to control what we control first, which is us. And then we adjust and adapt to who we're playing.
Yeah, but my point is, as a player, as a coach, I love that we're ranked 7th. I'm just telling you. Hold on, you might say it doesn't matter. I love that we're ranked 7th. How you're gonna think that about me? It's the Indiana thing where it's like, okay, you guys really don't know how good we are. You guys are gonna treat us this way? No problem. We'll just show you on Sunday. We'll show you on Saturday. We'll come out and we'll just play and we'll ball, and you guys will be like, dang, maybe those people from JMU that went to Indiana are pretty good.
Yeah, I never cared about what other people thought of any team I've ever played on or coached. That's mental energy that's sent towards a peripheral thing that doesn't really land for me. My focus is, am I doing what I'm here to do? I say it all the time here at the station. I don't care what other stations are doing. I don't care. And I don't care what the people who don't listen to us think about the station. We do this for the people who show up. And our job is to give them the best show that we can give them today. And did I prepare for it? Did I execute it? Did I follow the codes, the rules, the things, the timing, the scheduling, all those things? Did I honor the listener? And then when I'm done, if I did all that, we can all cheer and applaud. I don't have to look at other stations and go, see what we did. I don't have to cater to the fans and listeners who aren't here. I'm locked in. My ability to lock in is, I love it. Now I'm short attention span, like to the nth degree. We can have this great discussion. If 2 squirrels roll up to the window, Hoss, we gonna talk about it. But that's the concession I make is that in the middle of a game, like Hoss and I are coaching against our rival, and there's a great picture of us just cracking up laughing during the middle of a game. That's the only distraction I want connected to the mission. I try to stay focused in that. I'm not always good at that, but I don't care what the ranking. I didn't care what the Washington Post said. I didn't care because, Hoss, to my memory, how many seasons did the Washington Post say Woodson was going to be the best team in the region? In that 5-year, 6-year run, how many times? None. None. How wrong were they? How wrong were all the other coaches? How wrong were the other players? Yeah.
Hey, since we're talking about Woodson, you know how fun it was yesterday that Mia and April were training together, and it just brought back memories of 2015 working on Eric's shot, working with April. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's why we do what we do. I'm impressed. And I also want to shout out, there's a couple things to shout out. One, to shout out women's basketball for getting the big win at home against Illinois. Maybe their best performance of the season.
Really efficient
15
collectively from the floor.
15-5. Maupin's given them some things that they weren't counting on.
Britt Prince gave you 20 on really good shooting.
But her game management is where it's coming in. Colin Hake and her emotional maturity. Kennedy Williams is starting to find her legs and her space. She's starting to identify what she's doing. And then Petra Bozan in the middle is really stepping up.
I was going to say, she had a good game.
She's like, so shout out to them. Shout out to Heather Brink and the gymnastics team for upsetting Minnesota last night. Great expectations in the room. Again, we shout out Emma Spence for her work with the Big Ten Network. But to Heather Brink, that I wasn't sure that sort of performance was expected. Kudos. Going in and getting the upset. They improved to 3-2, giving Minnesota their first loss in the Big Ten last night. So kudos to that. And then, yes, through all of this, we walk into a really interesting week of sports. Now, Husker wrestling, I'm going to head over to Devaney Center and watch them against Ohio State, number 2 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. And folks are starting to identify the point differential between 1 and 2 and everybody else. Oklahoma State has the curse and the burden and the blessing of not being in the Big Ten and to kind of set their own path. But I think this will come back to hurt them later on, as it did in the tournament last year. But 1, 2, 4, and 5 belong to the Big Ten. And the difference between 4 and 5 or 5 and 6 is the result of 2 matches. Every match. And if you get a third match, it swings and it becomes a double digit. It's not a statement of anything other than that. And the difference between Penn State and Iowa, Ohio State and Minnesota, we saw them this weekend, and you go, okay, everybody else is fighting for third place. And it's a scrap. It's a scrap. So today I'm going to head over to Vanny, Mark Manning and the Huskers, Anthony Lionheart-Smith, who we do show with here on the ticket every Wednesday. He's going to lead the Huskers out of the tunnel.
Got a video of that.
Oh, that's got to be pretty
awesome.
special for both sides, because I know they're fans of his and he's fans of theirs. And the expectation, again, how each wrestler performs today just tells us where they are and has nothing to do with the end result that's going to happen at Nationals in Cleveland. It doesn't. It sets the table for seedings at the Big Ten, which will set seedings for Nationals, which will put us in a pool, and who knows what happens. So
everything you said is 100% accurate. Haas Tabrizi, we got to throw it to break here, but I'll let you set up the floor here. What do you want to dive into with the last segment?
You know what we're not going to talk about is the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship, because this year's they don't matter. They're boring. So we'll talk a little bit more wrestling, and we'll talk about the NCAA Championship because we have to after the break.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. and equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Is your furnace ready for the cold winter? Call the pros at Bryant. No matter what make or model, Bryant will perform a thorough heating check, giving you peace of mind, or steps to ensure a warm home throughout the season. Bryant also offers free second opinion heat exchange checks. Before you spend thousands on a new furnace, let Bryant check it free. Anytime you need furnace service or repair, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in at The Breeze, final segment. Me and DP just talked a little bit of college wrestling, getting fired up here as the Huskers getting ready to take on Ohio State here at 1 p.m. this Sunday. But of course, Haas, I know you set the floor. Let's talk some pro wrestling as well. The floor is yours, man. We got a few minutes to go. And let me unmute you. That's awfully rude of myself. There you go. Now the floor is yours.
DP, can we handle a retirement match again just a couple weeks later with Gunther and AJ Styles? Can we handle that again with Gunther retiring another person within the last 8 months?
No. If you're trying to build him into the greatest villain ever, the most heated heel, but you messed up because you set up the Breaker versus Gunter. Like you've promoted it and you've shown it, Why? What are you doing with Brock Lesnar, by the way?
Why didn't Gunther go after CM Punk right away after he beat John Cena?
Well, none of it adds up to me. But again, this is why I'm just a fan sitting here trying to figure out. I'm just watching what they're doing rather than trying to figure out what they're doing because it doesn't add up for me. And why Sami Zayn? Is Roman hurt? Is Brock hurt? What are you doing? I mean, of all the matchups and all the rivalries, all the stories, Fatu versus Cody. Now, mind you, it was the matchup of the night, and it was the one thing that we did not expect or know that we needed. But that match, they go off. Like to watch. Did I know that Charlotte and Sky would make me care? I had no idea. Like you're still trying to figure out what to do with Jade. And if you're going to give me Jade and Jordan, give it to me in full. And it's a long run. Don't give me a short run. Give me a long run. Like commit to it. Like build a story. Let's go behind the scenes. Let's do some stuff. I don't care about anything that Gunther does until he's not doing it.
Right.
I
need to see how Randy Orton's going to be used. Is he going to win the Royal Rumble?
You just burned him in the number one contender. Why?
They shouldn't. He needed to win and headline WrestleMania.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, why? Why would you burn him?
Now he's the kind of guy that if he still doesn't even win the Royal Rumble, he can win Elimination Chamber, and you'd be.
Well, yeah, I mean, Orton's the rules don't apply to Randy Orton. That's been the case always. Whatever they normally do with other people doesn't apply to Randy Orton. And I'm here for it. But what do you? If he's on, I guess the question is to the listeners: this: if Randy Orton is in his final run, do we want to know and do we want the story, or do we just want him to go whatever way he decides to go?
The latter.
I'm cool with these short title runs because if they can give Randy Orton 15, 16, 17, and 18, all in a 2-year span, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I'm a fan. I'm sitting here watching. Who knows?
Way to go, Indiana. Way to take out Miami. And Tony, by the way, you are an impressive wide receiver. Would love to have you on the 49ers because you are quick.
Stop recruiting. Jeez.
All right, Haas.
You got electrical juices in San Fran. Come on, my friend. Come on.
You good next week.
Tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.